Well, you're now retired. So what are you going to do? You spent your whole life working. They say that we start out and we go through the different steps in life. We go to junior high school, we go to grade school, junior high school, college, get a degree, get a job. Then we work for the company for 40 years. We get a gold watch and it's time to go on your way. But it's so interesting because there's so much after retirement that sometimes people forget about. One of the things they talk about is that how do you have your finances? Do you have enough for retirement? Do you have enough savings? Do you have enough investments and so forth? And that's all true and that's all good. But what about the thing between your ears? What about your brain? What about you've had this entire career? You have a family, maybe you have kids. The family's all grown. The kids are off onto their own challenges and lives, maybe even have some grandkids along the way. And just like Harry Chapin said in Cats in the Cradle, Dad, the kids are with the flu. It's really nice talking to you. I'll talk to you soon. It wasn't that long ago. He needed the car keys, as they said in the song. But now the families are growing up. So to me, it's all about what happened in my life is having a purpose and finding a new purpose. You had your career, you had the family, you had all that, but you need to find a new purpose. I'm not a big fan of saying you have to, you need to, you should, or you got to, but I would like you to consider finding that new purpose. How do you find that new purpose? Well, one of the things I advise and talk to my coaching clients and people about is what did you want to be when you grew up? What's the thing you always wanted to do, but you never did, and the career and family got in the way? What's the thing that you would do every single day and look forward to getting out of bed to do and not dread? Like they say, 75% of the people in the country hate their jobs. So what's the thing you do and you wouldn't even have to get paid? What could that be? And so it's sort of think comes back to what are some of those hobbies and things you put off while you were again busy with the career, and I think one of the big questions you can ask yourself is, how can I make a difference? It's so important as my career went on, and then I left and decided to become a speaker and a coach and an author. And I thought, how can I impact lives? That was the thing. People say to me, David, what do you do? And I say, well, I impact lives. And how do you do that? Well, I do it through my speaking, through my coaching, through my gratitude practice, my gratitude journals, and just like here, through videos. But what can that be for you? And think about all the wisdom that you have. You have all this collection of wisdom. And, they say youth is wasted on the young. That's true. But also think about what you've acquired between your two ears. There's all this knowledge you've gained over all these 50, 60, 70 years, whatever it may have been. And you get to put that back into the lives of people that are much younger and don't have that life experiences. And you can help them to keep from stubbing their own toe. And I think back on something that's made a big impact for me is different people in my life that have made statements. I'm sure it's happened to you that have made statements like, I'll never forget when you said blank. You're the first person that ever said blank. You're the only person that ever took the time to explain to me blank. And think about what that means to you. That person is tapping into your knowledge and you were a mentor or an advisor or a coach or a teacher, professor, whatever it might have been, but they listened to you and now you have all that knowledge. And now it's time to repackage that and repurpose it, if you will, and make sure that you can pass it on to people, the next generation. You'll be so happy you did, and the feedback that you'll get will be amazing. And it's interesting. And one of the things, I hope you've taken good care of yourself because during this time, you've acquired all this knowledge. Hopefully, you've taken good care of yourself, and now you've got the next career, the next place where you're going to be of value to people. It makes such a big difference. And I think one of the things that I think about is that I've had this question I've had for years is why don't people take better care of themselves? You have this whole lifetime and the choices that we make. Now we get to retire and we get to go on to something else. It could be golfing. It could be going to Starbucks. It could be other things, but there's nothing more fulfilling than when you're helping other people. And they say, if you want to help yourself, help other people. It makes such a big difference. For me, every single week, I get some validation, sometimes a few times, sometimes many times a week. I loved your video. I loved your blog. I really appreciated the comment you made. It made my day. It changed my life. It gave me some focus for the day. I was feeling down. Now I'm feeling better. So remember, if you just use the guide, if you want to help yourself, help other people, but think about what you were passionate about. That's maybe the biggest thing of all. If you can think about what did you enjoy? And when they say that all these people don't like their jobs, think about you now have an opportunity after retirement to do something that you love. And if you can find a hobby or a sort of another thing that you do in the past, you can turn into a business. That's another great way to do it. But I would recommend the biggest thing of all is think about how you can impact other lives. It makes such a big difference to go out there and impact people and show them all the things that you've learned, and then they have the wisdom that you can gain and pass on to them. It's interesting. They say that, you don't want to reinvent the wheel, but you want to listen to the people. They often say, go find somebody who's doing and getting the results that you want to do, that you want to get rather, and do what they do. Makes perfect sense. Find somebody that's doing the type of things you want to do, talk to them, have a cup of coffee with them, and ask them what they're doing, and then apply it to yourself. You'll be so happy you did. And when, you leave this earth, on the tombstone, it says your name and the date, and it says great father, great friend, great parent, great brother, great sister, whatever it might be. It doesn't say great CEO, had a Tesla, by the way. It's how people were impacted by what you said and what you did and the example that you set. And I think I've said this many times in the past. When I think about raising my two sons and managing many, many people I did in retail stores like Lowe's and Nordstrom, is the number one skill necessary for that is to set a good example. So whether you're raising children or whether you're managing people, you have to set a good example. You can't say to your kids, I don't want to see you smoking, but you're puffing away yourself. So set the example for yourself. Go out there and find something that you really are passionate about, something that'll make you happy. As I said earlier, something that you didn't even need to get paid for, and you'd be happy about it. And do that. You'll be so happy you did. I wish you a lot of luck in your journey after retirement. I'm that gratitude guy. Remember, be grateful and never quit.